Hi friends, welcome to Happy Nursing. Today we will discuss about the remaining parts of pragmatism. In my previous video, I discussed about the principles of pragmatism and the aims of education under pragmatism. So in today's video, there will be concept of teacher, concept of student and the curriculum, how a curriculum should be under pragmatism, concept of discipline, teaching method and its limitations.
Concept of student. Interaction with the environment. The student is always involved in interaction with the environment. Interaction with the environment here means the student goes through different situations and experiences, learn to adapt to the situations, learn to solve problems, make decisions, and finally control the environment according to his needs. As I have explained earlier also, the school is a part of this environment where these situations are provided by the teacher in order to provide the best possible educative experience to the learner. So, in other words, the student is constantly involved in interaction with the school. Next point says, student is a whole organism. The pragmatism views the student as a whole organism. Whole organism means the child consists of the biological child, the psychological child and the social child. Biological child means the student is constituted of the biological theories, biological factors and mechanisms which are common in all human beings, and also knows how to fulfill his biological needs from the environment like food, shelter, clothing, hunger, thirst, sleep, etc. Psychological child means the child will understand the need for attachment, control, pleasure, self-realization, etc. Social child means the child will learn to accept the needs of friendship, family, neighbors, social relations, etc. in his life. All these learnings he will acquire from his environment. Next is the concept of teacher. First point says, as involved in learning as are students. That means the teacher is as involved in the process of learning as are the students. He serves as a guide to the students and arrange experiences for the students. This is already explained before. The teacher provides the student with different real life situations where they gain their experience and learn. So, he is involved throughout the learning process. Next is advises and directs activities for students' needs. He advises and directs projects and activities for the needs of the students. In my previous point, I told the teacher is the arranger of experience. So, he must arrange the conditions in such a way so as to provide the experiences that will contribute to the growth of the students. Means the students' needs should be focused. Just a random situation which will not help in the growth of the students is useless. So the teacher will provide such projects and activities that will help the student to develop themselves. Next is the curriculum framework. First one says connection between knowledge and experience. It is important for the children to find a connection between knowledge and experience so that learning can become meaningful. For example, when we are studying nursing, we go for our clinical duties. There we get various disease conditions and it helps us to correlate those with what we have studied. That makes our learning more worthful and meaningful because then we can connect our knowledge and experience. Next point says emphasize the needs and interests of the children. Pragmatists emphasize the needs and interests of the children. Again the same thing. I have already explained it earlier. Pragmatists have rejected the one-way approach of curriculum which is associated with formal schooling where knowledge is separated from the child's own interests, needs and experiences. Next is broad and diversified curriculum. Pragmatists believe in a broad and diversified curriculum. Broad means it has a huge field of studies. Pragmatic curriculum is composed of both process and content. When the curriculum fixes what a child should learn, attention is given on outcome or result of learning and not on the process of learning. But pragmatists focus on paying attention on process. For example, a pragmatic teacher will not only see what the student has learned, but also how are they learning a particular thing. What experiences did they have or what challenges did they face in the process of learning, because that will evaluate the degree of their learning. Diversified means a more expanded form which vary its range in a number of multiple fields. Here we can say the whole universe is the subject matter for the pragmatists. They endorse a more general education rather than a narrow specialization. Next is utilitarian curriculum. Utilitarian means something which is useful or practical rather than attractive. In pragmatism, those experiences are provided which impart the needed knowledge and skills to the child for his present and future life. At the elementary stage, basic skills are provided like reading, writing, arithmetic, nature study, drawing and handwork. At a later stage, practical subjects like languages, social studies, physical sciences, mathematics and hygiene are included in the curriculum. Agriculture for boys and home science for girls is also advised. Training in some craft or vocation is also advised. Next, we will study the methods of teaching. Classroom discussion in a free and open atmosphere. Classroom discussion in a free and open atmosphere is encouraged. For example, the process of teaching which Rabindranath Tagore started in Shantiniketan. Next is not all children learn the same way. It's very evident that different children have different set of abilities and interests as well as varying potential of learning. Some may be a fast learner, some may be slow. A particular experience may be enough for a child to learn something, but may not be perfectly suited for another child. So it is important to have a variety of educational methods. This setup supports large print text, small desk and things that move easily into the classroom so that the classroom can be a functional atmosphere which can be modified easily according to the interest of a student. Focuses on the psychological needs of the student. It focuses more on the psychological needs of the student rather than in the logical order of the subject matter. For example, a same problem can be placed in front of two students at a time. Not all children are same, so both of them will respond to the problem in two different ways. Because their practical thinking is different, both of them will use their intelligence and whatever scientific method they have in their mind, but in two different ways for their problem solving. So pragmatic method of teaching will focus on the psychological aspect of the students and provide them with what they are lacking. Next is experimenting with new methods. Pragmatists believe in experimenting with new methods. As explained earlier, knowledge is obtained by doing things and not from books, and pragmatists encourage learning through self-effort and creative activity. This learning through creative activities is arranged by the teachers. How? The teachers not only impart knowledge or teach in a one-way process, but also presents direct projects to the students in the light of real life situation and keep on experimenting with that until the student is learning which he is intended to learn. Next is action rather than reflection. Pragmatism stresses on action rather than reflection. It's obvious, guys, because it comes from the word pragma itself. It means action. The child here is put into real life scenarios so that he may use his creative thinking and activity himself in order to solve the problem and drive his action towards a purpose. The last one is incidental learning. Whenever in the project method, child is given a task, he experiences the need of certain principles, skills and methods in the process of carrying out that task. In this process, he considers everything from his own point of view and acquires certain principles and skills which are new to him. So he learns not formally but incidentally through the project method. Next comes the concept of discipline. First point says purposeful and cooperative activities in a free and happy environment results in good discipline. So the pragmatists believe that purposeful and cooperative activities which are carried on in a free and happy environment help to create virtues like tolerance, mutual respect, self-control, initiative and originality in children, and that ultimately results in good discipline. Next is discipline is not imposed. Discipline in pragmatism is not imposed on the child by any external authority. The child takes it up voluntarily. The last one is helps to grow social discipline. Pragmatism encourages child to participate in cooperative activities in the school society and thus helps to grow social discipline. Next are the limitations of pragmatism. Pragmatism also has its own limitations. First one is no place for spirit or essence. There is no place for spirit or essence here. Pragmatism ignores any pre-existing spiritual values, past or the life of past. It only focuses on the present and the future. But sometimes past plays an important role in our learning process. So this is a limitation. Next is problems selected by the students may have no relation to real life situation. Problems selected by the students may be unreal, having no relation to real life situations. As pragmatists believe in giving full liberty to the students to choose their course of study, it may happen that the student may not have the proper understanding of what is related to real life and what isn't. For example, a student who doesn't know how to swim and even is scared of water dreams to do a world record in swimming. That is irrational, right? Next is curricular gap and deficiencies. As the pragmatic way only focuses on action, it leaves many curricular gaps and deficiencies in the learning process, because all kinds of knowledge cannot be accomplished through only action. Last one is heavy demands on the teachers. It puts heavy demands on the teachers. As the most important teaching method is the project method here, the teacher has to think of different real life situation for different students every day, match it with their talents and abilities, present it to them, observe them, and then devise new ways if one doesn't work, and again repeat the same process. That is too much pressure on the teachers. Only a few teachers may be able to cope with such demands. So this is also a limitation of pragmatism. So that was all about pragmatism. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. I hope I will be able to clarify those doubts. See you in my next video with another philosophy. If you like this video, then please like and share this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.